I guess let's kind of start with the mission of Waves for
Yeah.
Water. We are a humanitarian aid organization, and we provide access to clean water to those that need it. And when I say those that need it, really where we focus is kind of what we like to call the forgotten ones, right? So we look at those pockets of people in remote, austere environments, combat zones, disaster zones. And so it's bring access to clean water to the forgotten ones, to those that are not getting it through the larger systems, either through government or through those larger humanitarian systems that focus on large problems like Flint and Jackson, Mississippi, and Red Hill, which I know is close to your heart.
You know, what's interesting about those three examples that you gave of Flint, Jackson, and Red Hill here in Hawaii. For those who don't know, Red Hill is kind of the moniker for this site that's been used since World War II, frankly, where there were over 20 massive underground fuel tanks that were put in place. And it is a hill that kind of overlooks Pearl Harbor. And so they were constructed very quickly with the idea that they would have these underground pipes that let gravity do its work and feed that fuel down to the ships and to the Pearl Harbor Naval Shipyard. World War II. Fast forward, here we are in 2023, and for years and years now, this very antiquated system has been leaking fuel, which is a problem in and of itself, but it is a huge problem because these underground fuel tanks were built over one of our 3 water aquifers on the island. And this is such an unfortunate situation on its own. Throughout my time in Congress, I was calling on them to basically do what is necessary to make it so that these tanks are unleakable or shut them down. The Navy stonewalled us time and time again, hid the fact that there were multiple leaks taking place, had no transparency, and frankly they have really they've lost the trust of the people here in Hawaii because of their arrogant approach and their unwillingness to do the right thing. So we've gotten to a place now where finally the Navy has been forced to commit to shutting these tanks down because they can't protect the water, and because we just had another massive leak that resulted in, people who were bathing their people on base on Pearl Harbor, giving their baby a bath in the sink. Meanwhile, there was fuel toxins coming out of that water, babies breaking out in rashes, people being rushed to the hospital, pets getting sick, all kinds of stuff. And even then, while that was happening, the Navy still denied that it was a problem.
We had that same issue when I was in Louisiana, even, where we took my brand new daughter in, born down there, and she had eczema, just brutal eczema. We took her in, they're like, when are you leaving? Like, well, we'll be out of here in about 6 months. They're like, just wait. The second you leave, it'll go away.
Oh my
And so
gosh.
it's brutal. And it's, I mean, I've seen these throughout my career, and I know you have as well, is where, there's always that mission-focused attitude, which is one of the things I loved about the military, right? Like, we're going to make the mission happen no matter what. But when you get to, you're not really in the mission, you're in that support side to the mission. And sometimes politics starts to play, personal careers start to play, and then transparency gets hidden. It's just like, hey, this is too big of a problem for us to deal with. The next guy that takes over for me in the next year can take over for it. We'll deal with it then. And the soldiers and their families pay the price.
That's exactly what happened. I was in Congress for 8 years, and so I saw all of these different admirals coming in and shifting out really every couple of years. And every one of them would sit there and say, oh, we understand the seriousness of the situation, but really absolutely nothing would happen. And the problem perpetuated, and it brought us, unfortunately, to this point where a lot of people got really sick and suffered as a result.